Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Clarified Moments. Good morning, where we hope to bring a level of clarity to your consciousness, to your view, to your perspective, and to your world. Well, we back again. I'm trying to be a little more consistent. I might take a break again, though. But in any event, until then, we're going to keep pumping these videos out. We're going to keep talking about things that we can bring a level of clarity to and cultivate someone's, even if it's just one person's consciousness, and give them a different perspective to their view and to their world. But in any event, let's get right into it. I was checking out some couple of videos last night, and I decided I'm gonna chime in on this one. It's about these kids. I believe it's up in, I don't even know what state it's in. I believe it's in DC, not sure. Matter of fact, I'm not too confident it's in DC because DC is kind of crazy right now with these mandates. But in any event, some kids cheering, look like toddlers, look like kindergartners, put it like that, cheering after the teacher announces that there won't be any mask mandates, or they won't have to wear that mask tomorrow or after that day. It's pretty entertaining. I take it with a grain of salt because, kids are highly impressionable, but it is refreshing to see these things changing, at least so we think. And we're going to get into that a little later in the video.
Tomorrow we don't have to wear masks anymore!
I mean, they spared.
Is anybody excited?
Now, like I said, we got to take this with a grain of salt. The kids are highly impressionable. They see their peers jumping up and down, and or even the teachers encouraging them to be excited about it. They're going to do what they do. But again, I felt it was kind of refreshing to actually see a moment of clarity. That's what I call it, where common sense, logic, and reason reign supreme. But again, a lot of these things are happening throughout the country. And when I say these things, we're talking about a lot of so-called mandates are being lifted. The science has changed, which is odd to me. I don't understand how science changes when some of these things that they're talking about has changed, were some of the same arguments that were being made initially when the mandates came down. Even some politicians now are changing their stance. Now, although we hear things, my philosophy is we must see things. And a lot of people's philosophy, a lot of people's ideologies are things that they subscribe to in relation to showing and proving. And when I say that, we're talking about these politicians that get in office and just people in general, relationships, anything that you commit to, and you commit to for a certain reason, and then you get in it and it's something completely different, then that's a change, obviously. That's something that you wasn't expecting. Basically, it's a lie. People say one thing but do something else. And in relation to these politicians or these people that we say are leaders in our communities and throughout this country, a lot of them will commit to things, and then when they get that position, they get that power, it's something completely different. So you gotta stick to what you say. You gotta be honest from the beginning and to the end. If that's who you are and that's what you believe, then stand in it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't transition and change, but we already know that some of these things, the subject matter, the mandates, these policies, some people call them authoritarian type policies, there wasn't any wiggle room from change. There wasn't any wiggle room for discussion or debate. And now all of a sudden it's different. And that sort of thing, I mean, you got to be suspicious of. But, you know, that it just reminds me of an old ancient proverb that says, for he is like one who is inwardly calculating, right? And he's inwardly calculating. He says, eat and drink. But his heart is not with you. So he's inwardly calculating. And he says, eat and drink. He's representing something that he's not, because his heart is not with you. Now, what evidence is there that someone's heart is not with you? Maybe it's hypocrisy, right? The same standard that they hold for you or others, they're not holding for themselves. They're not willing to live by these same standards, or some of the standards, like I said, that they project upon you or project upon others. That's hypocrisy. Well, that's an aspect of hypocrisy. They want to point out indiscretions, and quite frankly, they want to point out sin in you and others, but they don't want to point out or admit to sin or indiscretions within themselves, within their own ideologies or lifestyles. And so that's evidence that someone's heart is not with you, because if they're constantly calling your indiscretions, your flaws, your shortcomings, your imperfections out, but they're not willing to call their own out, then that's a problem. That is a problem. This counsel culture wants to point out all the indiscretions and shortcomings and imperfections of someone, even in the past, even so long ago that they may have even transitioned. And they want to counsel them. They don't want them to have any room for redemption. And we all know that those of the household of faith, that's the premise of our salvation. It's redemption. It's attached to that word redemption. We're redeemed. Excuse me. We're redeemed by the blood of Jesus Christ, by the Son of God, who died, who bled, and he rose, so that we may have an opportunity, so that we may be saved. So this counsel culture is counter to that belief system, where you don't give anyone any opportunity for redemption. Is it Joe Rogan? I mean, they trying to counsel him for the N-word. But what about Joe Biden? And he said the N-word. Yeah, he said the N-word. What about authorizing use of a so-called controversial treatment for COVID that you conveniently shut down sites using the same treatment less than a month ago in the state of one of your political rivals? Hypocrisy. What about, and then I really love this one, suspending gas taxes to bring some relief to American households suffering from the gas pumps. Why? Why all of a sudden now? You got to ask yourself that question. We got to get to the heart of the matter. What's in the heart? Is it hypocrisy, or is it genuine redemption? Confessing of wrongs, realizing that you made a wrong turn. You got to ask yourself that about these so-called leaders, and even yourself. I mean, let's make it personal. If we guard our hearts, because we got to guard them, because out of the heart comes the issues of life. Why all the hypocrisy, the double talk, the double and triple standards? And I don't know about you guys. I don't know what's in your heart. You don't know what's in my heart. We don't know what's in the heart of some of these folks that say they support and believe one thing, but we do know what they're doing. You don't know what's in my heart, but you do know what I'm doing. And I'm not saying that people can't fool people. I'm not saying people can't lie. I'm not saying that people can't operate in a lie for an extended period of time. But usually, and I say this all the time, I've said this to my sons, my daughters, in many conversations I've had about hard issues. Everyone's on their best behavior in the beginning. But you can't keep up that charade forever. Who you are and what you believe will eventually play out in your lifestyle. It's in your decisions, the things that you do. I do know this though. Me not knowing what's in your heart, you not knowing what's in my heart. I do know this. We are all subject to an impure heart. Like even our elected so-called holier than thou officials. Every day I have to guard my heart. Or I operate in a double standard. Double and triple standard to be exact. I operate in hypocrisy, double talk, things like dishonesty, envy, entertaining impure things, holding grudges and resentment. And I want to focus on that resentment for a moment because it's important, because I believe that's the energy of the day. It's a lot of resentment in the world for whatever reason. I've struggled with that in the past, envying other people. I've had people envy me. I've been in situations where it's funny. It's going to sound crazy because it literally is crazy. Two people envying one another. Two people envying one another. I'm envying you and you're envying me. And you don't even know it. You don't even know it. And it's like, I'm looking at what you have and the position you have and the things that you have or the space you might be in. And I'm regretting the space that I'm in while simultaneously you're doing the same thing. It's crazy. My thing is this: how can you fight injustice, equity, and inequality, as they like to say, with resentment? It's hypocrisy. It's double talk, double standards, and it's not genuine and it's not real. We have to guard our heart. We have to put things in our heart. They're going to purify our hearts. We have to be honest with ourselves. I told you guys in the last video, my new perspective, new policy right now for my lifestyle and to challenge other people's belief system and their lifestyle. First and foremost, the foundation of it has to be honesty. Because honesty is clarity. And you can't have any clarity without honesty, because what's the opposite of honesty? Dishonesty. And what does dishonesty promote? Yeah, you guessed it. Confusion. And we know our God is not the author of confusion. You guys take care. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Are you being honest with yourself today? Are you going to commit to a honest assessment of who you are and where you're going, what you believe? And are you going to hold those around you accountable for their honesty? Your politicians, your elected officials, your friends. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your children. Honesty is clarity. Without honesty, there can be no clarity. And without clarity, there's going to be confusion. And we all know, again, that God is not the author of confusion. You guys take care, and I'm out.